Hello and welcome to my channel Close to the Edge, where I talk about all things prog rock, classic rock, heavy rock, and maybe, just maybe, a stick of rock. You never know. Stick around. Anyway, welcome back everyone. Hope you enjoyed my last video. And this one is going to be a tricky one in many respects. I'm asking the question, should Deep Purple have reformed in 1984 to bring out, I'll show you now, Perfect Strangers? It's the Japanese one. Should they have reformed? Because I asked this question for the reason being, my last video with Kevin, we had a video on 10 bands each that should have stopped, and I said Deep Purple should have stopped after Come Taste the Band. Was I wrong? According to a lot of the comments, I was very wrong. But I want to get into this album track by track, and I'll give you my opinion, what I think of the album and what I thought when it came out in 1984, because I was waiting for it. But before I do all that, I want to thank one of my brilliant subscribers, Paul Tomley. They're from Durham, up in the northeast of England. He sent me a picture single disc, Mike Oldfield, 5 Miles Out, and an Asia picture disc, Only Time Will Tell. Absolutely fantastic. He sent them for my birthday, which was on Saturday. I was 61 years of age. And Paul, thank you very, very much. And Paul is a weekly contributor to all my videos. He contributes all the time. Comments, likes. He doesn't agree with me all the time. I don't want anyone to agree with me all the time, actually, to be quite honest with you. But I'll always give my honest opinion, straight down the line. And I always say either people like it or they don't. But I do like to read the comments when they don't like it as well. I do, because it gives me a different angle. But anyway, let's get into Perfect Strangers. As I said, I bought it when it came out, and I still have it, on cassette. And the reason why I bought it on cassette is because it had an extra track called Not Responsible. And the CD did as well. I didn't buy the CD because I hadn't got a CD player at the time. I don't think I got a CD player until 87 or 88. But that's why I bought the cassette. Now, I went out then, years later, and bought the remastered CD. And this has another extra track on it called, what's the name? I have it written down here. Son of Alaric. 10-minute long instrumental. But I'm not going to be concentrating on those two tracks I mentioned. I'm just going to concentrate on the original LP. That was the majority of people would have bought it on the LP. Of course, me being a Deep Purple fanatic, I had to buy it on the tape for the extra track. But anyway, as I said, released in 1984, they came back after a 9-year hiatus with the Mark II lineup of Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, Richie Blackmore, Ian Pace and John Lord. The classic Mark II lineup. And I remember Kevin, Paul and myself, the three of us now have been listening to music for so long. We were waiting for this with anticipation. Like, there was no internet back then. We were reading it in magazines and that, music magazines, that Deep Purple were after reforming. We couldn't believe it. Because we were all big into Whitesnake, Rainbow, the Gillan Band. You know, we were fanatical Deep Purple fans. Just couldn't wait. Could not wait. So when 1984 came, the lads bought it on LP, but I bought it, as I said, on cassette because of that extra track. And when it came out, I'll be absolutely honest with you, and I think Paul and Kevin were the same, we were disappointed at that time in 1984. I was only 20 in 1984. All of us were 20 that year. So we're young because we got into Deep Purple in 1978. And we were, we've been listening to all the classic 70s albums. And this was, of course, an 80s twist on it. And we were disappointed. But am I disappointed now? All those years later. Am I? 40 years later, nearly. This is 41 years now, isn't it? Yeah, 41. So let's get into the first track. Knocking at your back door. I think this is an excellent track to kick off the album. It really is. At the time, I did like this track, actually. And It's a really Deep Purple track, isn't it? It's really, with the keyboards and just had that sound and Gillan's voice. I don't think Gillan's voice was as strong here in '84 as it has been when he sang on his last album, Who Do You Think We Are, back in 1973. Obviously, 11 years and difference he's had to been in his own band. Not as strong, but still a very good track to kick off the album. Number 2, Under Gun. I don't like this track. There's something about it, I just don't like it. It's kind of a lazy track in many respects. Nothing happens on it. Just the usual, it's just a normal track. I don't like it. Number 3, Nobody's Home. This track was the only track on the album written by the 5 of them. And it's a good track. It's a very good track. It flows along, nice rocky beat. But nothing spectacular. I'll be absolutely straight. Nothing spectacular. It ends then with Mean Streak. Another track that's only okay. Okay. Listened to it earlier on there today now. Played the LP. And I played the CD with the extra tracks, but just an okay track. So the first side is not bad. Not great, but not bad. Second side, first track, Perfect Strangers. Title track. What an amazing track. Absolutely blew my boat when I heard it. This was the brilliant. Has that thing on, It's just a brilliant kind of riff on it. Has essence of Rainbow in it, if you listen to it, because obviously Blackmore being the main writer, you can hear those essence in there, but I think it's an absolutely brilliant track. Like, it would stand up with some of their great tracks from the 70s. It would, that track in particular. Perfect Strangers. Then you have A Gypsy's Kiss, which is not a bad track, a good rocking track. I like it. Good track, different track than the first track. It just gets you, a Deep Purple track. Lovely track. Then you have number 3, Wasted Sunsets. It's kind of a ballady song. Don't like it at all. Not at all. Don't like it. Slow, meandering, boring. Just not for me. And it ends up with Hungry Days, which I think is an excellent track. It really is an excellent track. It's a typical Deep Purple track. Lots of great drumming on it, guitar work, keyboards, great singing by Gillan, brilliant bass by Roger Glover. A really good way to end the album. Now, the track Not Responsible, which was on the cassette, it's not a bad track. You can see in many respects why they left it off the LP, but I would have actually got rid of Wasted Sunsets and put that on instead. It would have made the album a little bit better. Not much, a little bit. And of course, the bonus track is an instrumental, Son of Alaric, and they couldn't put that on the LP, obviously. I don't know why they didn't put it on the cassette. But it's a good track, good instrumental. A bit proggy in places, me with the prog. But it's a good track, really. But we're concentrating really on the LP. So, I'm still disappointed with this album to this day, 41 years later. Time hasn't changed it for me. Hasn't changed it for Paul or Kevin either, may I add. And it hasn't. It's a very disappointing album, considering what came before. I know it's a different decade. Things have moved on. They were all doing different things. I can understand that. But when you see where we were coming from, after getting into Deep Purple in 78, and listen to all those brilliant 70s albums, and also when we're after me listening to the brilliant Rainbow albums of the late 70s, and some brilliant Whitesnake albums. Now, I wasn't a fan of Gillan, Paul was. I didn't like the Gillan band at all, and neither did Kevin. And so we were really expecting a lot. And were we expecting too much, in fairness? Probably were. Probably our expectations were too high. Because they were being away for a while and they got together. And they brought out a very good album, in fairness. And the track Perfect Strangers brings it up. So I give it about, what would I give it? 7, 6.5 out of 10 maybe. You know. But as I said in the video with Kevin, should they have stopped and never come back? I don't think they should have ever come back. I'll be honest with you. Of course, makes no difference. I have most of their albums even after that. They brought out an album after this, House of the Blue Light. Didn't particularly like it at first, but believe it or not, the album has grown on me over the years, and I think it's a better album than Perfect Strangers. I know there were infighting going on, but sometimes that works. A little bit of electricity, a little bit of infighting sparks off things, you know what I mean? Get you moving and all that kind of stuff. So I did. And going forward then, of course, Blackmore got rid of Gillan, and they brought out that awful album, Slaves and Masters. Awful, awful album. It's a disaster, that album. And then they came back with, I think I have it there behind me. They came back with that. Gillan came back and he put out with this again. The Battle Rages On. Now that's not a bad album. No, Blackmore's very, very last album with Deep Purple. It's not a bad album. But anyway, that's really what it is. That's my opinion, and I know people will disagree in saying Perfect Strangers, oh, it's an amazing album, it's a masterpiece. I believe Martin Popoff, whose book I have by Deep Purple, that John Wheatcroft sent me, he thinks it's their best album. Believe it or not. Yeah, Perfect Strangers is his favourite album by Deep Purple. I think he had cotton wool in his ears when he was listening to it. Sorry about that, Martin, but I think I did. Can't fathom that out at all. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, if you like this video, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And if you're a regular viewer, please give me the comments and slate me if you want to. And say that I have cotton wool in my ears when I'm listening to it, because I don't hear the essence of the album. I would like to really, really read what you have to say in the comments, because I'm fascinated by the comments. And please, I'd like to get up to 2,000 subscribers before July, which will be my anniversary of the channel. 24th of July is when I'm a year old on the channel, and I would like to get to 2,000. I'm not too far. I think I'm 200 off, roughly, give or take 1 or 2. But anyway, that is all from me, Pat, here on Close to the Edge, and it was great doing this video for yourselves. And hopefully I'll see you very, very soon, either on my own or with Kevin or with someone else. You never know who would pop up on this channel. Anyway, me, Pat, goodbye. Have a nice day. And whatever you're doing, stay safe, and it's nice to be nice. It's always nice to be nice. Anyway, bye-bye.